Hey you guys, we're at Dollar Tree today and I actually came to what I consider to be the best one in town. But here's the thing, not all Dollar Trees are created equal and not all Dollar Trees get their fall decor and craft supplies in good time or at all. Maybe you don't live by a good Dollar Tree. So we are gonna head inside and we are gonna look for some unconventional, not fall crafty items, and we're gonna make some great pumpkins and fall decor with them. Alrighty, let's go. All right, well, that was fun. I didn't get absolutely everything I was thinking of, so I might stop by another Dollar Tree, but I really want to get home and get DIYing. See you there.
Frames are always a great place to start, and these little ones I think are so cute, and they remind me of those fall signs you get. I'm going to pop a picture in here, so we're going to try and turn this one into a pumpkin. With the stand on the back of this one and the ridges already there, we are halfway to making this a really great pumpkin. First thing I'm going to do is take the stands off the back, pull everything off the front, and then we're going to pop it in the miter box and take about an inch off the bottom of one of the frames. Can you see how this is already shaping up to be the perfect pumpkin shape? And if this doesn't qualify as super quick, cheap, and easy, then I don't know what does. So we're just going to glue these pieces back together and you can kind of follow along with what I'm doing. And then I am going to put the stand back on the back and you can see I didn't need to take it off. So if you guys make this, do not take that stand off the back. It's one step you don't have to worry about. I decided to dry brush some orange onto this and I used these two colors to create a really nice creamy soft orange and then just dry brushed it a little bit over the edges and where I thought a little bit of color would look great. I just love the way this one came out, and there's so many different things you could do with this. Put it on a tiered tray, leave it on a shelf, put it on a little side table, and you can add whatever you want to finish it off. Now, I love heading down the kitchen aisle. There are so many great pieces. I decided to try these canning lids. We saw these on Pinterest, and I've had it on my Pinterest board for, well, let's just say it's been on my crafting to do for a long time. So I'm going to take 3 of these. There's 10 in a pack, so you can actually make a whole bunch of pumpkins. For the first one, I'm going to put it together what I'm going to call traditionally, and that's the way I've seen it on Pinterest. For the second one, I want to overlap them a little bit so it's got a little bit more of a tighter shape. So to do that, I'm going to mark off where they overlap with a pencil. And then I tried all kinds of shears and heavy duty tools. And then I realized my inexpensive, very old IKEA scissors could cut this no problem. I was a little disturbed that these were meant to be used for food. Have you guys ever actually used these in canning? I'm curious. Let me know down in the comments. So all I did then was glue them together, and then I did take one of the small cut off pieces just to level it back up. I glued it down so that my top piece didn't wiggle when I attached it. To finish these off, I wanted them to be able to stand on their own. So I'm using some of the driftwood stump pieces. And the trick to these is making sure they can stand up on their own so that when I attach it to the back, it will stand up. So when I attach these pieces, make sure you do it standing, not lying down. And that way you know you've got a piece that'll stand on your tiered tray or wherever you choose to use it. Now for this one, I tried to do something a little bit weird with clothespins and it didn't work. So totally skip that. I'm going to attach my stump just the way I did on the other one. And then I think we need to add some embellishments to these. I literally took my paintbrush that had some white chalk paint left on it. I didn't even dip it in and just put the smallest amount using that sort of circular motion as if we were trying to create the ribs on the pumpkin. This is the only one I did the dry brushing on. I considered using the orange on the second one. You guys will have to tell me what you would do to these pumpkins if you were making them. Now to finish this one off, I'm using a scrap of nautical rope. And if you're wondering why I'm using such a large rope, you're going to see in just a sec. Now, because this is so thick, there is no way I could have tied this without creating a really big lumpy knot. And here you go. I love this stuff when it's unraveled. I think it looks really pretty. So once the glue was dry, I just went in there and unraveled it and gave it that really beautiful textural look. Now for this one, I just made a tiny little twine finger bow. I only wrapped it around my fingers 3 times. These pumpkins are tiny, as you can see when they're in comparison to my hand, and they really, A, don't need much, and B, can't take much. There's just not enough room. So I attached that kind of off to the side. I thought that looked kind of cute, and this one is done too. I love hearing down in the comments how you guys would make these differently. So I'm going to tell you what I would have done. I like the smaller, tighter pumpkin, and I would have used the white dry brush on that one. But what do you think? This is another one so simple. I have wanted to try it for about 2 years, if you can imagine. This is a hair donut. No, I have never used one, but I know people with great hair can use these to create great buns. Literally, all you do is cut off the leg of a sock, tuck it inside, and roll. And I'm not kidding you. That's it. You roll it. Do not blink. This will be done before you know it. Once you have that fabric or sock rolled all the way around, you're going to tuck it in and put a stem on it. I'm not kidding you. That is it. Can you imagine how much fun you could have making these with all different socks, especially all those odd ones that come out of the dryer without their pair? So I'm just going to pop in one of the little Dollar Tree wood pieces, stumps, whatever you want to call them, and literally this one is done. For this video, this one definitely qualifies as the super cheapest and absolutely easiest DIY we have today. As I was heading to the book section in Dollar Tree to grab a book to make this really cute rolled book page pumpkin that again has been on my Pinterest board forever, I saw these coin rollers and was like, oh my goodness, I need to use these. Now, here's the thing, you guys. I want you to head over to Instagram because this was so easy that I decided to make basically a whole family of pumpkins, but I didn't show it all here. Here, we're going to make a basic one using just a few of these. Just imagine how many of these you could make with this bag. I mean, really, what a great craft to do with your kids or your grandkids or just a whole bunch of you hanging out with, maybe a couple of glasses of wine. Are you feeling me? Now I'm just going to dry brush a little bit of white chalk paint over these just to cover up all that green and the lettering, but I still wanted to see a little bit of the craft paper coming through. You could do so many different things with these, cover them in papers, and oh my goodness, the sky is the limit. So I'm going to take another one of those driftwood stumps. I absolutely love these and I need to get my hands on more of them because they are perfect for pumpkin toppers or peduncles, as we've learned many times in the past. Now I'm just going to put these together in a circular motion. Basically, you know that flower that children draw where they put the center in, the little circle in the middle, and then they do the bumps all the way around the outside? That's really all this is, but it's going to look so good, you guys. So easy to make, so good. And if you have a tier tray or a little spot in your home, this is the perfect DIY. I used that same little mix of orange and tan that I had left over and barely touched my brush to these, just enough to give it a tiny bit of orange and a little bit of dimension. My tip is, though, don't brush over the line that rolls around the roll. And I think you'll see if you make one of these what I'm talking about. I didn't want to define that piece by pulling the brush over it. I also did try to make sure that I put all of those lines, seams in the back so that they wouldn't interfere with the pumpkin. I had this little scrap of raffia left over, so we're just going to tie that around, but I'm going to put a dab of glue on the back just to help hold it in place as I tie it on. I find this stuff so slippery and such a pain to work with. I actually prefer the fake grass skirts that Dollar Tree sells, but I had this lying around from a previous DIY and I figured why not use it up and not have to deal with it anymore. Then I'm taking a couple of these Dollar Tree leaves, again left over from something else, and I'm trimming them so they look less like a flower leaf and more like what we would see on a pumpkin. Just pop those on the top, trim off whatever you've used, whether it be ribbon, raffia, grass skirt, whatever you've got kicking around. And I'm not kidding you, you guys, these take so few supplies, you can literally use scraps from other projects. I have wanted to make the rolled book pumpkin for so long. Again, it's been on my Pinterest board more than I'm willing to admit, but I absolutely love the way this one came out using these coin rollers. And oh my goodness, I am so excited to make so many more. Strolling through Dollar Tree and I come to these little scrubbers and they make great little pumpkins literally with sticking something in the top, but they've been done and done a lot. Now, I have had this idea that I saw 2 years ago. It was done by Rosie Henshaw out of the UK, and I'm going to link the video down below because it is insane how easy this is, and I'm shocked that everybody hasn't done it. So you're going to take the mop head and do nothing to it using a hair elastic. Now, I think she uses the hair elastic rather than tying it with some twine or something because the elastic gives it a little bit of give as you're flipping it inside out. And you're going to see really shortly what I mean. You're going to split that right down the middle. You're going to flip the black part right around. And in my case, you didn't put the elastic in the right spot. So guess what? We get to start again. So comb it all down with your fingers, put the elastic back on, and I put mine just a little bit higher this time. It was really uneven at the bottom, and this way my shorter pieces wouldn't pop out. Starting again, split it down the middle, flip that black part into the center, and you just keep turning. Just watch. You literally just turn and turn. You get the black part in, then you fold in all those end pieces. And my goodness, you guys, we're almost done. All you're going to do then is rearrange and tidy up all those pieces of mop head until you have a beautiful, really highly textural pumpkin that if you had wrapped or you had done something else to would have taken so long. Now, I couldn't not pick up one of these really pretty gray and white ones because although I'm not sure how effective they are as a mop, I figured it was going to make a really pretty pumpkin. So same way, we're just going to attach the elastic on the bottom and flip it inside out. Can you imagine how easy these are? Again, if you dyed the mops or dry brushed paint over them, like there are so many possibilities to make these suit your home decor. And we're not even talking about finishing them up at the top yet. Now for me, I wanted to keep this super simple the way I finished them off, so I used more of these leftover Dollar Tree leaves, and I'm just going to use a couple of the really short birchwood stems from Dollar Tree to finish these off. You could do whatever you want. You could add a ton of ribbon or embellishments at the top, but I loved how much texture these pumpkins had, so I chose to finish these off really simply. I hope you guys like these ones because we've done super quick, cheap, and easy DIYs before. We've done lots of them, but I'm not sure these even qualify because they are so easy and so inexpensive to do. What do you think? Would you do the gray and white one? Would you do just the white one? And how would you guys finish these off? I am head over heels in love with the way these turned out. I want to make more because they were so easy, but let's face it, I really don't need more than these two. You guys, this should give you a great overview of all the DIYs we did today. Let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite and if you'll be making any of these. You guys, I really hope you enjoyed these super quick, super cheap, and super easy fall DIYs because, well, I don't know if you can see it. I'm back at Dollar Tree because I had so much fun with these that I'm going to do a part two. So I hope you'll tune in for that. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when I upload this video. And you guys, we'll see you next time. So that's a wrap for me today. Don't forget to hop on over to Instagram where I share all kinds of crazy stuff from my life, my hauls, the shenanigans my family gets up to, and of course, Izzy's university move-in is coming up really soon. Until then, you guys, we will see you in the next video.